The sky doesn't look very promising right now, but we'll wait this one out. So in this first video of my composition series, we'll tackle a couple of aspects of composition, such as simplicity, color harmonies, and curves. To understand what composition is all about, we first have to acknowledge the fact that it's not just our eyes we see the outside world with, but our brain. In fact, the brain is far more involved in seeing things than the eyes. The brain's job is to make sense of what we are seeing, and it uses what is called visual clues to understand what's going on in front of our eyes and react accordingly. These visual clues include shape, size, color, contrast, brightness, and many more, the basic building blocks of composition. By composing an image, we're basically trying to make the brain follow our visual clues to a spot of our choosing, the so-called focal point. I'm going to show you a composition that I found yesterday, and I've shot it in bright sunlight because there were some very nice clouds in the sky, and I thought it might be a good idea to shoot the same composition at sunrise. Unfortunately right now it doesn't look like a glorious sunrise to me, but this video is about composition after all, isn't it? So we'll shoot this picture anyway, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky. So let's walk through this composition. This here will be the foreground object. It's the starting point in our picture, and then these stacks here will form a curve leading into the sky, which doesn't look as dramatic as I'd like it to be. The sky doesn't look very promising right now, but we'll wait this one out. Okay, all that's left to do is to wait and see, and possibly shoot. Okay, some technical details. I'm shooting with a 50mm prime lens here at f11. Shutter time still to be determined because the sky is not ready yet for us. I use a 2-stop ND grad and a polarizer. I'm not sure about the polarizer yet, but I kept it on because I'm too lazy to unscrew it. That's the whole truth. I'm skeptic about the polarizer because if the sun is going up that direction we are shooting, then the polarizer won't do anything, because it works best at a 90-degree angle, and shooting at 0 degrees will do absolutely nothing. Okay, here now you can see the composition on the display. The sky is not really dramatic for my taste at the moment, and if it's going to stay that way, I won't take a picture here, because honestly I have a much better picture already, which I shot yesterday, and if in doubt, we'll go through that picture and just abandon this one here. So here are some frames I shot the day before, and as I've already mentioned, this composition is rather simplistic. Although there are a number of objects involved, it doesn't feel cluttered. Compare and contrast to this picture of mine here. This is a very complex scene, and if it wasn't for that guiding line, or curve rather, this image would feel chaotic. Back to today's composition, you can see the difference in complexity. We have fewer objects, and they are spread out, which reduces that sense of clutter and chaos. There are just two groups of objects, hay roads and clouds, and the objects from each group share the same hue. The background is divided in two parts, and either part is a single hue as well. The main color in this image is yellow, and it is complemented by the blue color of the sky. Complementary colors in a picture work really well, and you should always keep an eye out for these so-called color harmonies. If you have Photoshop, there's a panel that can assist you in finding a color harmony for your particular picture. You just need to use the eyedropper tool, pick a color, and then go over to the panel and set this as your selected color. And Photoshop will make some suggestions as to which colors will be in harmony with the one you picked with the eyedropper tool. So how will the brain process this image? Well, it will start looking for visual clues, and this hay roll is the biggest object in the image, so this is where the brain will start exploring the image. It will then go on and connect these dots or hay rolls to form a line or a curve, like this, which will ultimately lead it out of the image into the sky, which is our focal point. This image isn't perfect yet, however, because there are a few distractions, such as a non-uniform horizon. There is some green stuff on the left and to the right. There's more green stuff here, and the brain will connect that to a line. So that's distracting too. There's some more green stuff over here, and there's this little straw up here. So we're going to fix that first, and the result will look like this. So that's much better. We can now improve on the contrast a bit, do some dodge and burn, check the color harmony over here, and adjust the color accordingly. And there you go. After some sharpening, we arrive at this picture. That concludes the first part of my composition series. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of this content, please consider subscribing. Till next time.